Here with the play-by-play, Mutual Sports Director and the voice of Notre Dame football, Van Patrick.
Thank you, Al Western. Hello again, everybody. Notre Dame will kick off. Iowa won the toss, and Lambert will do the kicking. Green and Powell are the deep men. And here's Lambert moving forward and the boot. It's a short kick. It's coming down on about the 18-yard line and taken there by Wallace. He's back to the 25 and is tackled right there on the 25-yard line. So it'll be first down and 10 to go now for Notre Dame. Neidert is the man who made the tackle for the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Iowa with the ball. First down and 10 to go from the Iowa 25-yard line. With Cybery over the ball. Meskimen is at right guard. Ely's at the left guard. Signals are being called by Larry Lawrence, and Lawrence on to give this time to fake to his fullback on the keeper play, rolling out to the right. And he is up to the 30, almost to the 30. They rule him down on the 29, and Bob Olson is the man who made the tackle. An Iowa man shaken up on the play.
Freeberry on the tackle. Timeout is called by
Let's take 10
Iowa.
seconds for station identification. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System. Okay, Iowa ready to go back to work again. And here's a give off to Dennis Green, and Green found a hole over right guard. He's up to the 35, goes to the 37, and is tackled on the 37-yard line by the secondary of Notre Dame. Larry Lawrence is the quarterback. Dennis Green, the runner. Tom Wallace, the fullback, and Reardon is in there at the halfback in place of Barry Kreese, who was shaken up a moment ago. Two flankers out wide to the left now. They split in. Here's a pass thrown out on the right flat intended for Bream and incomplete. Incomplete, so it goes back to the 37-yard line. It'll be second down and 10 to go. Bream is flanked out wide to the right. Reardon is set out in the slot position outside the left end. Here's Lawrence on to give this time to the fullback, and Wallace is dropped as he reaches the 33-yard line. In there on the tackle for Notre Dame was Bob Olson along with Freeberry, who's backing up the line on the right inside spot. So mark it on the 38. Make it third down and 9 coming up now for Iowa. We're just getting underway at the University of Iowa Stadium. Now Reardon is flanked out wide to the left. Also split out is Ray Manning. Lawrence calling the signals with one setback. It's Wallace. He's going back to throw. He's going to run with the ball. A flag is down. He's up to the 43-yard line, and a flag is thrown. Let's go down to the sidelines now to Bill Etherton.
And down here a moment ago on that kickoff return, the tackle was made by Bob Neidert. He hurt his shoulder, it appeared. He came off the field. He's been sent back to the dressing room. Neidert, a top-notch linebacker with a broken collarbone. Back to you, Van.
Notre Dame, a 5-yard penalty for offside. So that'll make it third down and 5 to go for the Hawkeyes with the ball on the 43-yard line of Iowa. One setback again. It's Wallace, the fullback, and here's Lawrence going back. Gives on the draw play. Up to the 48-yard line comes Tom Wallace to the 49, and he's brought down. It's a first down for the Hawkeyes of Iowa, and listen to this crowd at Iowa Stadium.
The Hawkeyes have rolled up 2 first downs, and they have it first and 10 on their own 49-yard line. On that last one, Wallace just simply broke the tackle of Bob Jokish and Mike McCoy. Both were on top of him, but did not stop him.
Tim Kelly's the man who made the tackle. Lawrence on the call again. He's bootlegging out to the left, looking, throwing, and it is completed at the 48-yard line to Manning. And Manning is to the 44. He's down to the 40. He's finally dropped as he reaches the 37-yard line. So it'll be another first down for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Schumacher's the man who made the tackle for Notre Dame, and there's no question, Al, about the game plan of Ray Nagel. Notre Dame that had a little trouble against Purdue last week.
And it looks like he's intent too, Van, on ball control. He's mixing it up well, the running plays with the passes, and he's throwing to the sideline. He's not doing anything in the middle with the passes so far.
Bream flanked out to the left. The pitch this time to the halfback, Dennis Green, and he is to the 35 and possibly to the 34. And the tackle is made right there. Olson in on the tackle for Notre Dame. And hitting him first was Freeberry from Wilmington, Delaware, a 207-pound senior. So mark that ball on the 34-yard line and make it second down and 7 to go for Iowa. Wide to the right now comes Dennis Reardon. Bream is split out to the left. And here's Lawrence faking again, back to throw, looking, throwing. It's caught at the 24-yard line by Terry Reardon, and Reardon is tackled immediately on the 24. It's a first down for Iowa, and that's 4 first down for the Hawkeyes. Making the tackle was Olson at Notre Dame 24, where they have it first down and 10 to go, and they are moving. And now there's a change in the secondary here for Notre Dame. Number 27, Jlock is coming in and playing that defensive halfback spot, replacing Gasser. Signals are being called now by the quarterback Lawrence again. And there's a flag going down as he handed off to Dennis Green, and Green got it back to about the 24. And a flag was thrown. Freeberry is the man who made the tackle. A holding penalty against Iowa, and Notre Dame will take this one. Well, I imagine Bill Etherton down there, Notre Dame is a little surprised by the way the Iowa team is moving the ball. The ball back on the 39-yard line where it'll be first down and 25 yards to go. Now they're using that spread formation again. One setback, it's Wallace the fullback. Lawrence is going back to throw, cocks his arm and throws the home run ball, and look out. This one is caught at the 10-yard line. Down to the 5, it's a touchdown for Iowa. Green caught it for the TD. Got himself wide open down there. A 39-yard touchdown pass. They move 75 yards in 10 plays. Here's the kick. It's up, and it's good.
Yeah, I said, but they didn't work. They hurt my feet something terrible.
For your car, your home, your life, and your health, State Farm is all you need to know about insurance.
Now Iowa kicks off to Notre Dame, and Ducheny runs the ball back to the 27-yard line, so it'll be first down and 10 to go for Notre Dame. And they have the football for the first time today. Signals being called by Hanratty in the I formation. Hanratty back to throw. He throws one to Seymour. He's got it to 35, and he's knocked out of bounds on the 39-yard line. Hanratty completing it to Jim Seymour. And Charlie Bolden is the man who bumped Seymour out of bounds, so mark this ball on the 39-yard line and make it first down and 10 to go for Notre Dame. In the secondary, they have Churchill, Wilson, checked it, Wilson, Lane, Bolden, and Cavol. Back goes Hanratty. He throws. It's completed to Seymour. Seymour's out of bounds at about the 47-yard line. So the Iowa secondary, Al, having a little trouble trying to stop Jim Seymour.
Now we're seeing him against the Iowa defense. Both defenses here, Notre Dame and Iowa, were still a question mark, and we've seen Seymour now catch two big ones.
It'll be second down and about 1 to go. Hanratty on the call. He gives it off to his fullback this time, Jeff Zimmerman, and Zimmerman tries right tackle, and Dan McDonald, the defensive left end, is the man who brought him down. The ball is just shy of the 50. It's a first down now, and Ducheny is coming in there now at fullback, replacing Zimmerman, who just carried for the first down. So make it first and 10 for Notre Dame from the Notre Dame 49. Split out to the left now is Dennis Allen. Hanratty on the call, pitches it back to Ducheny. He's at the 50, and he fights his way down to the 45-yard line, and tackled there by Charlie Bolden of Memphis, Tennessee. On the 45 of Iowa, so now the Fighting Irish into Iowa territory. They're trailing 7-0 here in the first quarter with 10 minutes and 55 seconds of playing time remaining. Second and 4, Seymour split out to the left. He's the only flanker. The pro set with Hanratty calling the signals. Ducheny has it, tries the middle, and he doesn't go very far, only a couple of yards. He's stormed on there by Greg Allison, the middle guard of the University of Iowa, along with Lane McDowell, the sophomore tackle from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. So mark that ball on the 44-yard line, and it will be third down. In the slot to the right is Gladjo for Notre Dame. And here is the give to Ducheny. Ducheny fights his way down to the 40-yard line. He's going to be mighty close for a first down. And Rod Barnhart, the backer on the left side, is the man who brought him down. It's a first down for Notre Dame. Let's find out about Zimmerman and go to the sidelines and Bill Etherton.
Same thing happened last week against Purdue, and he's limping once more. That's why Ron Ducheny is the fullback out there now, and Ducheny's doing a pretty good job. Van, back to you.
Yes, he is. And here's Seymour flanked out wide to the right. Allen split to the left, and signals are being called by Hanratty, who's going back to throw. He's being rushed out there. He gets rid of it, and it's incomplete. He threw it over the head of Gladjo, and they had the pressure on Hanratty. In there defensively was Price and McDonald, the two ends of the University of Iowa.
Ken Price at the defensive right end, Lane McDowell, the sophomore, at the left tackle, and Mike Edwards over on the left side at the tackle. Really put the pressure on, and they made Hanratty get rid of the ball in a hurry.
Two flankers out to the left this time, and here's Hanratty going back to throw. He gets great protection. He throws it. It is incomplete. Intended out there for Dennis Allen, number 22 in the left flat, down around the neighborhood of the 30-yard line. And Bolden was the man covering over there for the University of Iowa. Seymour is flanked out to the right, split out to the left now is Dennis Allen. Ducheny, the fullback, is a setback, and here's Hanratty rolling out to the left, looking downfield. He throws. It is completed on the 28-yard line to Dennis Allen from Ashtabula, Ohio. Complete. So mark the ball on the 28-yard line, where it'll be a first down for the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Mark it 29-yard line, the officials call it. We have a jam-packed stadium here at Iowa City today, an overcast day. And now Gladjo and Seymour both go to the right side. The offense is the I formation, and the top of the I is Dennis Allen. Signals are being called now by Hanratty. Hanratty going back to throw again, looking downfield, rolling out to the right. He looks, he throws, and Seymour's wide open. He's got it. He caught it out of bounds, in the end zone, out of bounds.
There was a tough break because right in the corner pocket of the end zone on the far sidelines was Jim Seymour waving his hands to try and attract the attention of quarterback Terry Hanratty. Bolin got there, but the ball got there first. Both went up for it. Seymour had it, but he was out of bounds as he came down. Hanratty is he's completed 3 of 5 for 31 yards so far, and now he's got a 2nd down 9 situation coming up.
Seymour's out wide to the right again, 2 setbacks and a slot back, and here's Hanratty looking downfield again. He throws over the middle. It's completed to Allen at the 15. He's down to the 10. He cuts back at the 5, and he's down to the 3-yard line before he's brought down. Dennis Allen from Ashtabula, Ohio, a sophomore, made the reception, and he ran a post pattern on that one and got himself open in a hurry. So the ball is on the 3, where it'll be first down and goal to go for Notre Dame. 26 yards gained on the play. This is Van Patrick along with Bill Etherton, Al Wester, and Buck Jersey from Iowa City. And Iowa leading 7-0, but the Irish coming out of it now with the ball on the 3 and a first down and goal to go. They line up in the I formation. The top of the I is Allen, who just caught the pass. Hanratty on the call. He gives to Allen. Allen is stopped at the 3. In there to make the stop for the University of Iowa, the middle guard, Greg Allison, number 67, along with Edwards and McDowell, or Stephanie it is. The Panic, who's playing the left tackle, along with Lane McDowell, the right tackle, the middle of the line, absolutely not an inch. Tight end for Notre Dame is Weingardner. Seymour split out to the left this time, about 10 yards. The I formation with Allen the top of the I, and here's Hanratty going to bootleg the ball. He's running wide. He's at the 1. Touchdown, Notre Dame. Hanratty doing an excellent job of faking on that. He bootlegged the ball out to the right and sprinted into the end zone, outrunning the one Iowa man in the secondary who was chasing him. So Notre Dame is on the board now.
Score is Iowa 7, Notre Dame 6. Hanratty will hold.
Hanratty will hold the ball, and Hempel will attempt. The kick is up. The kick is good. And the score is tied. Notre Dame 7, Iowa 7. We'll be back with the Notre Dame kickoff in just a moment. And the deep men for Iowa are Dennis Green and Bill Powell. Here's the whistle and here's the boot. This one straight down the field, not too deep. It's coming down at about the 5. It's taken by Dennis Green to the 10. He goes to the 15, stops, tries to go wide, and he's going to be knocked down inside the 15-yard line. 7 minutes and 47 seconds of playing time remaining in the first quarter. The score is Iowa 7, Notre Dame 7. Making the tackle was Schumacher of the Fighting Irish. So it'll be 1st and 10 now for the Iowa Hawkeyes from their own 13-yard line. Notre Dame giving up 7 points, coming right back and getting 7. Iowa comes out of it. The quarterback is Larry Lawrence. Podolak, of course, was injured in the Texas Christian game. The give is to Green. Green finds a hole, comes up to the 21-yard line, and the tackle is made on the 21-yard line by the Fighting Irish's Bob Olson, the co-captain, and the left inside linebacker.
They tell me this is the fastest man that they've had on an Iowa football team in 10 years.
Bream is flanked out wide to the right, the pro set, with Lawrence calling the signals, and he gives off this time to his fullback, Wallace. And Wallace cracks up to about the 21-yard line, getting it back to the line of scrimmage in the middle of that Notre Dame line, along with Joe Freeberry from Wilmington, Delaware, making the tackle for Notre Dame on the 21. Legler is in there at right guard for Iowa. Meskimen is out. Cyberry is the center. Signals are being called by Lawrence, and Lawrence rolling out to the left with the ball on the keeper. He's at the 25, and he comes on up to the 30, and he's pulled down on the 30-yard line, running the keeper off to the left. And Schumacher and Olson are the men who made the tackle for Notre Dame, so it'll be a first down now for the Hawkeyes. Number 68, Meskimen, is coming back in there at right guard, so it could be that Ray Nagel is calling some of the plays for the young Iowa quarterback.
Then this sophomore quarterback, Larry Lawrence, had faked Chuck Lauk so completely. Lauk came to the inside, and Lawrence went around him and almost brushed him with the football.
Lawrence on the call again. Lawrence on a pitch back to Green, following his blockers. He's coming wide. He's at the 30, comes up to the 33, and is thrown out of bounds at the 33-yard line. And knocking him out of bounds there was Tim Kelly, the left outside linebacker of Notre Dame, right on the 33-yard line. Second down and about 7 to go. He picked up 3, coming wide on the play. Bream is split out wide to the right. And they send Barry Kreese out wide to the left, and Lawrence is going back to throw. He's looking, throws over the middle. This one is caught by Ray Manning, and Manning is at the 45, and Manning is still on his feet to the 47 before Don Reed brings him down for Notre Dame, and it's a first down for Iowa. That official down there was excited about it. He looked like a circus acrobat as he indicated the first down.
Well, I'll tell you, this is something you won't see very often. The co-captain and left inside linebacker of Notre Dame, Bob Olson, wrapped around him, had him tackled, and went down, and as he did, he pulled away and got 6 more yards. Lawrence is 4 for 5 for 77 yards.
Tom Quinn is in there defensively now for Notre Dame. And here's Lawrence on to give to his fullback. Wallace cracking up to about the 48-yard line. He got a yard on the play, make it second down and 9 to go. We have 5:40 to play in the first quarter. The score is Iowa 7 and Notre Dame 7. Bill Etherton, what's going on down there?
I've been watching Tom Pagner confer with Terry Hanratty and Jim Seymour and Denny Allen about a play evidently set down from the press box by George Sefcik and Paul Schultz, assistant coaches.
All right, Lawrence calling the signals. He's going back to throw again. Looking out to the right, he throws. It's incomplete. He threw it over the head of Ray Manning, his tight end, who is 6'4", weighs 193 pounds, a sophomore from Wichita Falls, Texas.
And I think this might be the answer to a sophomore quarterback. Put the pressure on, and the Irish front line is going to try to do that now, I'm sure.
Legler's in there with another play from the bench, and back goes Lawrence again, and they've got him back inside the 40-yard line. Notre Dame, Bob Olson and Tim Kelly were both blitzing on the play, and they hit Lawrence back on the 40-yard line, bearing on what you just said, Al. They're going to put the pressure on, and they did, back to the 40, and we're going to get our first punt of the afternoon. And Notre Dame dropping back number 7, Joe Theismann. Here's the boot. This one's coming down at about the 30-yard line. It's taken by Gladjo. He's back to the 35. Gladjo is to the 37 and pulled down on the 37-yard line. A kick on the play of 29 yards. He's kicking against a very strong breeze. 4:39 to go. And we have the ball on the 37-yard line of Notre Dame. Seymour's flanked out wide to the left. Hanratty's the quarterback. Gladjo's the setback. Signals are being called, and the give this time is to the fullback, Jeff Zimmerman, who's back in there, the 20-year-old junior from Pennsylvania. And he is brought down on the 41 by McDonald. A gain on the play of 4. It'll be second down and 6 to go now for Notre Dame. And they're running from their own 41-yard line. And they have Gladjo and Zimmerman, the setbacks. The pitch is to Zimmerman, trying to turn the corner, and he does. And knifes up to the 46-yard line with it before he's pulled down, a yard shy of a first down. Zimmerman. Allison is the man who made the tackle. All right, Seymour flanked out wide to the right. Dennis Allen is split out to the left. It's the I formation. The top of the I is Gladjo. Hanratty on the call, and Hanratty on a give now to Gladjo. Gladjo up the middle to about the 48, and he runs into Ken Price there, number 85, the defensive right end, an 18-year-old sophomore from Houston, Texas. And they'll mark it on the 48-yard line, where that will be first down number 6 for Notre Dame. Gladjo flanked out wide to the right along with Jim Seymour, and they're flooding that right zone now with Dennis Allen split out to the left. Now they bring Gladjo back into the slot, and Hanratty out to the left and looking downfield, throws to Seymour at the 40. Seymour is pulled down on the 39-yard line. It's a first down for Notre Dame, and a flag is down. One of the Iowa boys hammered Seymour after he'd hit the turf on the 39, and maybe a personal foul against the Hawkeyes.
The Iowa 13-yard line.
Here's a handoff to Gladjo, and he moves down to the Iowa 17-yard line. He's brought down by Dan McDonald of Iowa, right on the 17.
Second down and about 2 yards.
Second down, about 2 to go now for Notre Dame. They break out of it again. The Irish on the move with the score tied 7-7 and 2:40 to play here in the first quarter. Hanratty on the call again. He's got 2 setbacks. He gives it to Gladjo. Gladjo dancing right through the middle. He's down to the 8-yard line and pulled down on the 8. It'll be another first down for the Fighting Irish on the 8.
He caught the middle guard there, Greg Allison. Allison had a shot at the runner, but McKinley, doing a beautiful job, just laid him on the ground. Tom McKinley with a beautiful block on Greg Allison.
It will be first down and goal to go. The ball is on the Iowa 8-yard line. The I formation with Hanratty calling the signals. And Hanratty keeps the ball, looking into the end zone. Touchdown, Notre Dame! And all by himself was Bob Gladjo in the end zone. 63 yards in 10 plays. And Gladjo was as wide open as you can get. Hanratty again, Al, doing an excellent job of faking with that ball and setting it up.
Well, he's been doing that all afternoon, and certainly the last 2 series of plays, it was most important. The first 2 series were pretty even. Both teams moving for a touchdown. And now the Irish are ahead, and here's the extra point.
Hempel kicking, and the kick is up. The kick is good. The score now is Notre Dame 14, Iowa 7. We'll be back with the Notre Dame kickoff in just a moment. Here's Lambert's boot. High end over end, down to the 8. It's taken there by Dennis Green. He's back to the 15. He goes to the 20, comes up to the 25, and he's knocked out of bounds at the 28-yard line of Iowa. Denny Green on a 20-yard return, and he was bumped out of bounds there by Quinn, number 19, a defensive back of Notre Dame. So make it first down and 10 to go now with the ball on the Iowa 28. With the score, Notre Dame 14, Iowa 7. With 1 minute and 57 seconds of playing time remaining, here's Al Bream from Rock Island, Illinois, split out wide to the right. Out to the left now is Barry Kreese, and Lawrence bootlegging the ball. He throws the home run ball deep to Bream. He's got it on the 35. He's down to the 25. He's down to the 20. He's all the way down to the Iowa 17-yard line before Tom Quinn brings him down. And again, a great job of faking by the quarterback, this time Larry Lawrence.
Have you ever seen a quarterback, a sophomore, that handle a football like this fella? He just rolls back and just as quiet and as cool and as calm as you could want. You wouldn't believe you were throwing against the Notre Dame defense. 55 yards on that pass play.
In here defensively now, Brian Llewellyn. Lawrence running with the ball is going to be dropped back on the 20. They may rule at the 18-yard line. In there was Bob Olson along with Mike McCoy to make the tackle. One of the reasons that Tom Quinn was beaten so badly on that play by Bream, he evidently had pulled a muscle in his leg because he limped off the field. We'll check with Bill in just a moment to find out about Quinn. Here's the pro set now with the one flanker to the left, and there's Lawrence rolling out to the right, looking for a receiver, throws, it's incomplete. Intended for Roy Manning. What about him down there, Bill Etherton?
It doesn't appear that he'll be back in this ball game very soon. That's the report on Tom Quinn.
All right, John Gasser has come in now to replace Llewellyn, who had just come in to replace Quinn. 2 flankers now for Iowa. Lawrence going back to throw again. He throws. It is caught on the 10-yard line by Ray Manning. A fine reception. Now, he had Olson and Don Reed both right on top of him, and he managed to get that football.
Bob Jokic just lowered the boom on Larry Lawrence. The minute he got rid of that football, Jokic hit him like a, well, I've said it before, like a Mack truck. He really lowered it on him. 140 yards Lawrence has passed for. Now he's completed 6 of 9 passes thrown, and it is 4th down.
4th down and about 2 to go. Lawrence on a pitch back to Green. He's at the 5. Touchdown, Iowa. Listen to this crowd in Iowa City. They're going wild as the Hawkeyes have come back to tie it up again if they can boot the extra point. They went 72 yards in 5 plays with their sophomore quarterback doing a magnificent job of directing this team. Melendez is in to attempt to tie it up, and you can hear from the crowd whether he does or not. There it is. Kicking off will be Melendez, and in deep spots now for Notre Dame, Allen and Gladjo. And here's the boot. This one is coming down to Gladjo at the 18. He goes to the 20, follows his blockers to the 25, and is caught from behind on the 29-yard line. And in there making the tackle for the Hawkeyes was Barnhart. So mark it on the 29, make it 1st and 10. Bill, I would imagine that Notre Dame is a little surprised the way Iowa's been able to move the ball.
Man, I can certainly agree. The front four are doing a pretty good job, but there is that porous secondary back there again, and I guess only game experience is going to help.
And now Dennis Allen is flanked out wide to the left, outside Seymour, who's split out to the left. In motion goes Gladjo to the right, and Hanratty is going back, gets some protection, looks downfield, can't find anybody. Now he throws, and Gladjo's got it at the 40. He's at the 35. He's at the 25, the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5. It's a touchdown for Notre Dame unless he stepped out of bounds, and he did on the 2. A 71-yard play as Notre Dame comes back.
That pass was from Hanratty to...
He stepped out of bounds, down on about the 2-yard line, 71 yards on the play.
It'll be first down and goal to go.
First down and goal to go, and Hanratty bringing the Irish right back again. What a ball game we've got at Iowa City today.
Well, we were expecting explosives, and explosives were not the word for it.
Notre Dame breaks out of it now. They've got the I formation. Hanratty calling the signals. And he gives it off now to Allen. Allen's in the end zone. A touchdown for Notre Dame. Allen got good blocking over right guard. McKinley and Coons over there on the right side. We have 29 seconds between touchdowns that time. Only 29 seconds as Notre Dame came right back. Scott Hempel will attempt the extra point. Hanratty will hold. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So now Notre Dame leading by a score of 21-14 as the Irish bounce right back again. And we only have about 1 second to go before the end of the first quarter. Here's Lambert's kick. This one is coming down to about the 1. It's taken by Bill Powell to the 10, to the 15, to the 20. And he is hit hard at the 26-yard line. And making the tackle there for Notre Dame, number 76, Kuchenberg. And that's the end of the first quarter with the score, Notre Dame 21, Iowa 14. All right, it'll be Iowa's ball, and they have it on their own 26-yard line. They came up to the line of scrimmage, and the official, the time not elapsed on the timeout, so he sends them back to the huddle again. Some quick statistics here. Notre Dame, 147 yards passing. They have 41 rushing for an overall total of 188 in the first quarter. Iowa has 140 passing, and they have 49 rushing. Al Bream is flanked out wide to the left. It's a first down for Iowa from their own 26-yard line. Notre Dame in a 5-man defense. Lawrence throws a sideline pattern. It's incomplete. Intended for Kreese, Barry Kreese from West Des Moines, and incomplete. So the ball goes back to the 26-yard line. Charlie Schlock of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, in there defensively now at that halfback spot. And now Bream is flanked way wide to the left. One setback, it's Wallace, and back goes Lawrence to throw. A flag is down, and he is at the 30. And he's at the 31. And the tackle is made on the 31-yard line by Kuchenberg. And a penalty flag goes down. Could be Notre Dame offside. It was. He's trying to decide whether to take the penalty of the gain. Of course, if he takes a penalty, he saves it down. So he really doesn't have a big decision. And he's going to take the penalty, which will save the down for him. The score is 21-14. Second down and 5 to go. Bream is split out wide to the left. Two setbacks. Green, along with Lawrence, and the other setback is Wallace. Green is tackled, but breaks the tackle, gets it back to the 30, and that's about all. Brought down on the 30, where it will be a third down coming up now for the University of Iowa. Here are the guards coming in again here, changing them. Ely is coming in now.
But it was all keyed on the fullback taking that end out, and he just completely missed the block altogether.
Here's the pro set now for Iowa with the ball on the 30. And here's Lawrence bootlegging, going back, looking, and he's caught from behind. Making the tackle was Bob Kuchenberg, the senior from Hobart, Indiana. And he brought Lawrence down back on the 27-yard line. And a flag on the play, and this crowd is roaring. The penalty will be against Notre Dame.
Van, the outside linebackers were blitzing on that. Tim Kelly shot in there, and so did Bob Neidert, both.
Holding on the play.
Of the World Series, Cardinals 4, Detroit 3.
Signals are being called now by Lawrence in the pro set with the two setbacks and the slot back, and the give is to the fullback Wallace. He hits to the 40, getting 2 on the play, and Olsen makes the tackle. So the ball is marked on the 40. It'll be second down and 8 to go for the Hawkeyes, running from the Notre Dame 40-yard line. Now they come out of it, they being Iowa. They have no flankers this time, just the pro set. Signals are being called by the sophomore quarterback, Lawrence, looking downfield. He can't go this time. He's going to be brought down back on the 45-yard line, and the front wall of Notre Dame came in there that time and brought him down on the 45-yard line. Kuchenberg, McCoy, Jokic, and Lauf all in there to make the tackle.
They're unloading on this sophomore, and they feel this is a way to rattle him.
It will be 3rd down and 13 yards to go for Iowa from the Notre Dame 45-yard line. Now they split Bream out wide to the right. Barry Kreese is deployed to the left. One setback, it's Wallace the fullback, and Lawrence is going back to throw. He throws a screen, incomplete. He threw it too low on the 48-yard line to Dennis Green. They let everybody come in on top of the quarterback that time. Schumacher and Kelly were both there ready to shake hands with him as he got rid of the ball, but he threw it a little bit too low to Dennis Green. So it'll be 4th down, and the kick team comes in now for Iowa. And here's the boot, and a good one. Down to about the 5. It's taken there by Theismann back to the 10, to the 13, and he's pulled down on the 13-yard line. That was a 40-yard kick. A 40-yard kick by Reardon of Iowa. And let's mark it to 14 and make it 1st down and 10 to go for Notre Dame. Along with Allison and Phillips. They've got McDonald, McDowell, Price in there defensively. Bolden. Seymour's flanked out wide to the right. They drop 2 men off to cover him. Hanratty calling the signals, and Hanratty gives it off to his fullback Zimmerman. He's across the 15 to the 17, and Greg Allison, the middle guard, makes the tackle for Iowa on about the 17, so it's a gain of 3 on the play by Zimmerman. 12 minutes and a half to play in the first half. Notre Dame leading by a score of 21-14 over the Hawkeyes of Iowa, coached by Ray Nagel. Jim Seymour is the only flanker. He's split out wide to the right. And the signals are being called by Hanratty again. Hanratty on a pitch to Gladjo, following his blocker, cuts in, gets across the 20, goes to the 21, and is dropped there.
That's the way to get him. Good rush, and that's the first time in a long time I've heard him say that. Back to you, Van.
The ball on the 22-yard line, the officials mark it. Gladjo in 4 carries has gained 21 yards. So it'll be a 3rd and 6 to go. Or 3rd and about 2 to go. Hanratty calling the signals. Gladjo and Zimmerman are the setbacks. And they might have taken too much time. Notre Dame took too much time to get the play underway. And Gladjo out wide to the right. Inside of him is Jim Seymour, the split end. The I formation. Hanratty sends Allen in motion to the left, and Hanratty looks downfield. He throws. It is caught. It's caught on the 30-yard line by Weingardner, the tight end, and Weingardner comes on up to the 37. And there's a timeout on the field with the score, Notre Dame 21, Iowa 14. Zimmerman up the middle and moving the ball to the 43-yard line. Hanratty on the call again. He gives it off to Zimmerman once more, and he's dumped right on the 45 line. In there making the tackle was Stepanek, number 64, playing that defensive tackle for the Hawkeyes, and the ball is on the 45. Dennis Allen out wide to the left. The setbacks are Gladjo and Zimmerman. Iowa in a 4-3 defense, and Hanratty's going back to throw. He gets some time. He throws one to Seymour, and Seymour running a fine pattern. He was behind the defensive back, and then all of a sudden he cut right in front of Charlie Bolden and picked off the pass and stepped out of bounds on the 48-yard line. And it will be a 1st down for Notre Dame on the Iowa 48. And Seymour has now caught 4 passes today for 40 yards. They break out of the huddle with Seymour out wide to the left as the only flanker. They line up in the straight T formation this time, with the 3 backs set behind the quarterback, Hanratty. And here's the pitch now to Gladjo, who cuts back at the 45. He's to the 40. He's down to the 38-yard line. He's going to be close to a 1st down. Making the tackle with Steve Wilson of Rock Island, Illinois, the safety man. It's mighty close for a 1st down. It'll be 2nd down, about a half a yard to go for Notre Dame. The ball is midway between the sideline stripes on the Iowa 38-yard line. Notre Dame breaks out of it, and they send Gladjo out wide to the right. Seymour split to the left. Zimmerman and Allen the setbacks, and Allen has it right through the middle. 1st down, going to the 34-yard line. That is brought down on the 34. 1st and 10.
Well, Van, as far as the pass goes, the pass offense of Notre Dame, their big man is Jim Seymour, and Iowa, apparently their best defender is Charlie Bolden. They've been flip-flopping him over. He's been playing man-on-man with Seymour, while the rest of the defense has been working as a zone defense.
The slot back now is Gladjo, and the give is to Allen. Allen did not gain any yardage on that one. He's hit right at the line of scrimmage by the middle of the Iowa line, along with Barnhart, a junior from Staunton, Illinois. And they're going to mark that ball on the 33.5. Seymour's flanked out to the right. It's second down. Still the 10 yards to go, and here's Hanratty going back to throw. He looks downfield. He's being rushed. He throws one. It's completed at the 30-yard line. Completed there to Gladjo. And Gladjo was bumped out of bounds right on the 30-yard line, but they may rule he caught it out of bounds, and that's what they're going to rule. He also juggled the ball, so mark the ball. Back on the 34, where it'll be third down and still the 10 to go. Third down and 10 for Notre Dame, and they split Gladjo out wide to the right. Seymour's also to the right. Hanratty is going back. He throws one. It's completed out there, and the screen to the 30. And again, they're going to be close for a first down. It's on the 24. Otherwise, it'll be 4. So there's a timeout with a score. Notre Dame 21, Iowa 14. It's the pro set with Seymour out to the left. Signals being called by Hanratty. Gives to Zimmerman. Zimmerman is down at the 20-yard line and tackled right on the 20. A gain on the play of 4 yards by Notre Dame's fullback Zimmerman. In there making the tackle was Barnhart again. They have second down and 6. They lead by a score of 21-14 over the Hawkeyes, who are really fired up for this ball game today. Iowa in a 5-3 defense right now. Signals are being called by Hanratty. He gives to Allen. He's at the 15. He's down to the 12. He's to the 11. He's brought down on the 11-yard line, and the tackle is made by Stepanek again. This time on the 11-yard line, it'll be a first down for Notre Dame. Al Wester.
First and 10 down on the 12-yard line or on the 11-yard line, and right now the Irish are concentrating on one thing: driving down the field and punching that football over. Possession ball is what Notre Dame likes to do, and against the defense right now of Iowa, they're able to do it.
The T formation again with Seymour, the only flanker, and the pitch now is to Allen. He's at the 10. He's caught from behind. A shoulder pad tackle there on the 9-yard line. Phillips, along with Cavol, making the tackle for Iowa. So the ball will be marked on the 9. The ball is on the 9-yard line. It is second down. We have 7 minutes to go here in the first half. Notre Dame leading by 7. It's 21-14. Now the I formation. Hanratty pitching out this time to Gladjo. He cuts back behind the block. He's down to the 5. He's at the 3. He's dropped on the 3-yard line. He got a great block out there that time. Steve Wilson is the man who made the tackle.
And Jim Weingartner was the man who made the key block there. He blocked the linebacker out who'd come up to play him, and he played him just right. He keyed in on him and knocked him out of the way and made possible for a fine gain down to the 4-yard line. So here we've got another big third down play coming up. And, Van, it looks like all great football games hinge on the third down.
Sort of like baseball, a game of inches. Now they've got third down at about 2, and they give fakes to Allen. He's going to run with the ball and fights his way down to the 1, and he's shoved all the way back. Phillips and Wilson leading the defensive charge for Iowa, but they're going to allow that ball, I believe, down around the neighborhood of the 2. Let's see where they place it down. It's going to be on the 2-yard line, but he is shy of a first down by about half a yard. It's on the 2.5. Notre Dame calls timeout, so there's a timeout on the field with a score. Notre Dame 21, Iowa 14. It is fourth down, and here's the give to Allen. He's down to the 1. I believe he got a first down. Gladjo it is. Gladjo is the man carrying, and it's a first down for Notre Dame. It was Gladjo, number 20, the senior from Louisville, Ohio, on the carry. And he was piled up there on the 1-yard line by the middle of that Iowa line.
Well, the Irish just rolled up their 6th straight first down in this series, and they've moved something like 86 yards so far in this drive. On the first, it's first down on the 1-yard line.
Hanratty, quarterback sneak, touchdown, Notre Dame. Hanratty on the carry, and he took it over on the quarterback sneak. Frank Cranitti had gone in there to halfback, and Notre Dame went 86 yards in 18 plays. So mark it on the 2, and we'll have the try for point. Hanratty will hold. Scott Hempel, who's been successful so far in his 3 tries, will attempt to make it 28. The kick is down and up. Good. And the score now is Notre Dame 28, Iowa 14. We'll be back with the Notre Dame kickoff in just a moment. The score is Notre Dame 28, Iowa 14. And here's the kick by Lambert. And it is coming down here to Green, who fumbles the ball, and Notre Dame's got it on the 22-yard line. Green fumbled the kick and kicked it. Notre Dame has it. And on top of that ball was number 46 of Notre Dame, Gasser. John Gasser was the man who covered it. And that's a great break now for the Irish. They have the ball on the Iowa 23-yard line. Green tried to pick that ball up instead of falling on it, and he kicked it soccer style. And Gasser is the man who fell on it. So first down for Notre Dame on the Iowa 23. Gladjoe's flanked out to the right. The I formation. The give is fake to Allen, and back goes Hanratty. He's got all day. Now he's being rushed. He rolls around out to the right. He looks. He throws. It's completed to Zimmerman at the 25. He's at the 20. He's at the 15. He's knocked out of bounds by Phillips.
Talk about plenty of time. Why, this fella had all day. He was roving around in the backfield there to find himself a man, and finally sighted Jeff Zimmerman at about the 25-yard line. He reached him with ease. It's interesting to note, Van, that Notre Dame has had the football for 4 series in this football game so far, and each time they've had it, they've taken it and jammed it right down the field and scored, and that's the way they got those 28 points.
Right now they have it on the 16-yard line, and here is the give now to Allen. He ducks into the 15, possibly the 14, and that's it. Brought down right on the 14-yard line.
Just over the 15.
That's Gladjoe again, checking. Carrying the ball. It's just over the 15-yard line. Seymour flanked out wide to the right. And here's the give to Zimmerman, and Zimmerman is down to the 11-yard line, and he should have a first down for Notre Dame. McDowell made the tackle for Iowa, and it's a first down for Notre Dame. They have it on the 11. Let's take 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System. Sadbury is in there now defensively for Iowa. Hanratty on the call, and he gives it out now on the counter play to Gladjoe. Is going to be dropped on the 15-yard line. In there diagnosing the play beautifully. Stepanek, number 64. It was a counter play as he came back with his halfback. Seymour out wide to the right. Weingardner, the tight end, is on the left side and in tight. The slot back is Gladjoe. And here's Hanratty rolling to the right. He's looking. He's going to run. He's at the 10, and he's out of bounds on the 10-yard line. Hanratty is out of bounds. On the 10-yard line, they'll mark it.
Apparently that's the whole strategy here of Ray Nagels, to try and put his best single pass defender, a sophomore from Memphis, Tennessee, Charlie Bolden, on this great receiver of Notre Dame's, Jim Seymour. Well, Seymour is still having a very fine afternoon of it, but the only thing they can do is flip-flop back and forth Bolden against Seymour and try to cover it.
Seymour's on the left side this time, along with Allen. Hanratty is back to throw. He gets a block, and he gets it back to the 12, and that's it. McDowell hit him, along with Dan McDonald, and knocked him down on the 12-yard line. So it'll be third down and 11 yards to go for Notre Dame. The Iowa defense holding right here. Fourth down coming up now. That was the third down, and the fourth down coming up, and Hempel is coming in. The attempt will be made from the 19-yard line, which would make it a 29-yard field goal attempt. The kick is up, and the kick is good. 29-yard field goal by Hempel. And the score now, Notre Dame 31, Iowa 14. We'll be back with Notre Dame's kickoff in just a moment. Lambert kicking off for Notre Dame, and it bounces around on the 25-yard line. Iowa brings it back to the 30, to the 35, and the tackle is made there on Ray Manning on about the 36 or 7. They'll mark it on the 36. And making the tackle was Bob Kuchenberg, a senior from Hobart, Indiana. So it'll be first down and 10 to go now for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Ball is on the 36-yard line of Iowa, first and 10 for the Hawkeyes, and Bream is flanked out wide to the right. In the pro set, Larry Lawrence, the quarterback, the sophomore, and he's rolling out to the right, looking for a receiver. He's going to be brought down. He laterals it back now. There's a fumble, and Notre Dame might have it. It was lateral back on the 31-yard line to Manning, and we've got to wait till they unpile, and I believe that Iowa might have retained the ball as Manning fell on the ball on the 31-yard line, so they lost 5 on the play. It'll be second down. Notre Dame leading 31-14 over the Iowa Hawkeyes. The ball is on the 31-yard line of Iowa. Out of it they come, and they send Barry Kreese out wide to the right. Bream is split to the left. One setback, it's Wallace. And back goes Lawrence. He's being rushed. He's going to be hit. Dropped back on the 19-yard line by Laut, number 93. who went smashing in there back on the 19-yard line to bring him down. Let's go to the sidelines and Bill Etherton. Bob Jokic is going out of there over on the sidelines. He's striding right now. He seems to be all right. Lawrence is -7 in 7 attempts. 31-14. Lawrence calling the signals. He's going back to throw again. He looks now. He's going to run with the ball. He stiff arms one man, and he's going to be dropped on the 25-yard line. And the tackle was made by number 24 of Notre Dame, Schumacher, linebacker, right on the 25. This series originated on the 36. And here is a timeout on the field. It's called by Notre Dame with 1 minute and 36 seconds of playing time remaining.
Well, Van, injuries for the Irish in their defense has certainly been costly.
Reardon is back in kick formation with the 4th down. Theismann is deep along with Gladjo. Theismann's got it on the 40. He gets away from one man, comes back to the 45, stays on his feet to the 50, to the 45, and is finally out of bounds in front of the Iowa bench, down around the neighborhood of the 43-yard line, and a good return and good blocking over on the right side there for Notre Dame. And let's see where they're going to mark it, where he stepped out of bounds. Schumacher doing a good job of blocking, so mark it on the 42.5-yard line. And make it 1st down and 10 to go for the Irish.
Tim Kelly just made a great block there. Almost a crackback block the way he carried it, because he took 3 men out with him as the little punt receiver there, Theismann, was coming up the near sidelines.
Signals are being called by Hanratty again. Zimmerman's a setback, and Hanratty's looking downfield from ready to throw to. He's scrambling around. He throws, and it is incomplete, intended for Gladjo. 1 minute and 18 seconds of playing time remaining in the first half. The score is Notre Dame 31, Iowa 14. We've got a great crowd listening out in Milan, Illinois, Al. Jeff Mirando and all of our friends out there, and we had a great dinner last night with them at Mirando's and talked over this ball game, and they're great fans. They follow the Iowa team wherever they go.
Jeff and Ernie.
And back goes Hanratty. He throws to Seymour, incomplete on the 35. And that time he led Seymour just a little bit too much.
1 minute and 14 seconds to go in the half.
Got 1 minute and 14 to go here before the end of the first half. Now Gladjo is flanked out to the right.
UCLA 13-0.
Syracuse is leading UCLA 13-0. Back goes Hanratty, and look at the time he's got. He throws one that is incomplete. Intended out there for Coley O'Brien, and incomplete. They bring it back to the 42.5 again. They stop the clock.
Charles Bolden, number 27.
Bolden is the man who batted the pass down. He hasn't had to punt many times this year, but he's in there right now. Going back deep for the University of Iowa, number 45 is Wilson. The Arietta, standing back on the 45, got a low pass from center, had to rush his kick. It's a short one. It's coming down on the 30 and rolls around to the 31, to the 32. Notre Dame lets it roll to the 32. A very short kick of only 10 yards.
Van, that's the 3rd punt this season for DeArietta. He had a 31-yard average going into this football game, and he certainly did not help it on that last kick.
Ball on the 32-yard line. It'll be 1st down and 10 to go for the Hawkeyes, and of course with only 57 seconds remaining, young Larry Lawrence will probably put that one in the air on this first play. He's got 2 flankers, and he's going back to throw. He's looking downfield. Now he's going to run with it. He stumbles. He falls on the 31-yard line. He got it back to the line of scrimmage. That's about all. Maybe he lost a yard on the play as Jokic made the tackle there for Notre Dame on the 31-yard line. The clock is moving. About 40 seconds to go here in the first half. 31-14. And now Iowa calls a timeout to stop the clock. Mutual sending this game across the nation. 2 flankers again. Lawrence on the call. He goes back to throw. He throws, and it is caught by Bream. Bream's at the 45-yard line with it. He laterals it back to Green, who's at the 50, he's at the 45. He is cutting back now at the 38, and he is bumped out of bounds, possibly on the 39. He stepped out. Exciting football in Iowa City, with the Hawkeyes trying to come back. They're trailing 31-14 to Notre Dame. And so make it 1st and 10 Iowa on the Notre Dame 39. 30 yards gained on the play. Bream was the receiver, and he lateraled back to Green. Signals are being called by Lawrence again with the 2 setbacks, and he pitches it back this time to his halfback. In there, number 26, Powell, and Powell cuts in at the 38 and is dropped on the 37-yard line. Stop right on the 37-yard line. In there making the tackle, Notre Dame, Hawkeyes again, along with Lauk, and they bring him down on the 37. Iowa calls timeout to stop that clock. It's on the Notre Dame 37. The clock shows 21 seconds of playing time remaining here in the first half of the game, with Notre Dame leading 31-14. Now the pro set again for Iowa with the one flanker to the left, and Lawrence is going back to throw, sets himself, throws the home run ball deep to Bream, and it's incomplete. Over his head in the end zone, going back to cover was Charlie Zlock, the defensive back from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. That stops the clock with 15 seconds of playing time remaining. Now Kreese is back in there. He's from West Des Moines. Reardon's from Kansas City, Missouri. Out of the huddle now, the Hawkeyes. And they send Bream out wide to the right. Wallace and Green completing the backfield with Larry Lawrence, the sophomore quarterback. Lawrence calling the signals. He's going back to throw again. Time running out. He throws a sideline pattern, incomplete. That stops the clock. It was intended for Bream. The clock shows 11 seconds to go. And it will be 4th down now for the University of Iowa.
Van, we're only having 3 of the front line of Notre Dame's really put the pass rush on. The 4th man is dropping back with Bob Olson, more or less as linebackers, and we've got 6 men back there on pass defense for the Irish.
Lawrence calling the signals. He's going back to throw again. He's looking downfield, throws the home run ball, and this one is incomplete. 2 men were covering Bream on the play. Reed was one, the other was Zlock, and Zlock almost intercepted the ball, so Notre Dame will take over. The Hawkeyes of Iowa, coached by Ray Nagel, the young man who's doing a rebuilding job here with the Hawkeyes. The athletic director is Forrest Evershevsky, who was a great blocking back at the University of Michigan. Now, with the spread formation there, with 2 flankers out wide to the right, the give is to Ducheny, who's at the 45 and comes on up to the 49 in Iowa territory before Bryce brings him down. There's the gun. That's the end of the first half of the score. Notre Dame 31, Iowa 14. Referee Donald Hamilton to blow the whistle. He does. Melendez moves forward. Here's the boot. Good end-over-end kick coming down to Allen on the 6. He comes back to the 10, gets to the 15, goes to the 20, 25. And he is hit, and hit hard as he reaches the 27-yard line. Allen, the ball carrier. And Groover, number 65, is the man who made the tackle for the University of Iowa. First down and 10 to go now for the University of Notre Dame. They're running from their own 27-yard line. They lead Iowa 31-14. Out of the huddle they come with Allen to the left. Signals are being called by Terry Hanratty, and Hanratty on a give this time to his fullback, and there's a flag down on the play. Gladjo, the ball carrier, and he moves it to about the 31, and Beeble makes the tackle along with Barnhart and McDonald, and they're going Iowa evidently offside on the play. Weingartner is in tight on the right side. Seymour is deployed to the left, and Hanratty on a give to his halfback Gladjo, who's up to the 37-yard line with it, and he's mighty close for a first down. Pulled down there by number 67, Greg Allison, a junior from San Diego, California, and Mike Phillips, the backer on the right side for the Hawkeyes. With the 3 backs aligned behind Hanratty, who pitches back to Gladjo, and he is brought down on the 31-yard line by Bill Beeble, the defensive left end who knifed in there and brought him down in a fine defensive play on the part of the Iowa Hawkeyes. 31-yard line. Bevel making the tackle. It'll be 3rd down and about 6 yards to go. Check that. About 6 yards to go. T formation. Hanratty rolling out to the right. He's looking. He throws. Seymour. And intercepted by Iowa on the 48-yard line by Bolden. Bolden's back to the 45. He goes to the 40. He cuts away to the 37. He's finally brought down on the 37-yard line. And Charles Bolden intercepted the first Hanratty pass of the afternoon. They mark it on the 39-yard line and make it first down and 10 to go. Al?
Well, there we had a chance to see Bolden as he came up, and he came up fast to grab that football off. But he got wrapped down pretty hard, Van, after he made the interception and returned.
Larry Lawrence, the sophomore quarterback, directing the Iowa attack. The Iowa Hawkeyes with a break now, and the give off is to Green. Green is down to the 35. He goes to the 34 and is brought down on the 34-yard line. In there making the tackle for Notre Dame was Kelly along with Olson. And Reed coming up from the secondary. So mark that ball on the 35-yard line now of the Irish. The Hawkeyes with a break now and the interception. McManus out over the ball. He's from St. Paul, Minnesota. And Lawrence calling the signals, and Lawrence on to give to Green. Green trying to power up the middle, goes to about the 32-yard line, and that's it. And he's brought down on about the 32. Here's Lawrence rolling out to the left. He throws, and it is completed on the 20-yard line to Ray Manning. And Manning is dropped on the 16-yard line. Tackle made back in that secondary by Tim Kelly along with Shoemaker. Pressure there, but Lawrence rolled out to the left, got rid of the ball. He's rolling to the right now, looks, throws, and it's completed again to Manning. Manning is stopped right on the 16, so there's no gain on the play. Making the tackle was Tim Kelly again, number 42. So it'll be 2nd down and 9 yards to go. 11:50 to play in the 3rd quarter. McManus out over the ball for Iowa. Kreese is split out to the right. Bream is split to the left. Lawrence with 2 setbacks is coming back to throw, sets himself, throws, and it is caught by Bream, and he's thrown down on the 1-yard line. Caught the pass away from Charlie Zlock, and the Iowa Hawkeyes are coming back now here in this 3rd quarter.
He just made a tremendously good catch against Chuck Zlock. The Fort Lauderdale sophomore went up with him, played the football along with him, but Green just outfoxed him and made the catch. Now on the 1-yard line.
Lawrence calling the signals. Lawrence tries the quarterback sneak. He gets down to the goal line, but no indication from the officials that he went over. Lawrence, the quarterback, number 13, a sophomore, 19 years old, from Cedar Rapids, was stopped just short of the goal line. Now the 2 setbacks again behind that quarterback, and the quarterback sneak again. It's Lawrence cracking the middle. No indication from the officials yet whether he went over. Touchdown, Iowa! Iowa Hawkeyes on a pass interception by Bolden went 39 yards in 7 plays, and now it's 31-20, and we'll have the try for point here. Melendez is in there to try it. Holding will be Lawrence. The ball is spotted. The kick is up, and the kick is good. And the score is Notre Dame 31, Iowa 21. We'll be back with the Iowa kickoff in just a moment. Allen and Gladjo, he's got me doing it now. The PA announcer's calling it Gladio. It's Gladjo. There's the boot down to Allen at the 6. He's back to the 10. 15. He comes wide to the 20, and it's bumped out of bounds on the 21-yard line. Bumped out on the 21-yard line by Bevel, number 88. Bevel is from Cedar Rapids, 6'3", 215-pound, 20-year-old junior. The Fighting Irish leading now by 10. It's 31-21. Notre Dame out of the huddle. Allen is flanked out to the left. Seymour split to the right. The pitch now is to the halfback of Notre Dame to the 26-yard line, Ducheny, and they're running from that halfback spot, the fullback. And he is dumped on about the 27-yard line. The ball is on the 27-yard line. Seymour is out wide to the right. Ducheny is in that backfield now along with Gladjo. The pitch is to Ducheny again. And he gets to about the 23, and Bevel is the man who tripped him up. And he moved the ball just about to the 28-yard line. They really were excited about the touchdown scored by Iowa, and they're only 10 points behind Notre Dame right now. But Notre Dame with the football, and Hanratty takes it, goes back to throw. He throws one, it is taken on the 35-yard line and to the 36-yard line. Making a dive for it and playing the ball that time. Allen was the recipient of the pass, but number 31 there, Barnhart, made a dive for the ball and played the ball instead of the man. And he missed on both sides. So mark it on the 36. Make it 1st down and 10 to go for Notre Dame from their own 36. 9.5 minutes of playing time remaining in the 3rd quarter. Jim Seymour is flanked out wide to the right. They have the straight T formation now with a balanced line and a 5-man Iowa defensive line. And the give is to Ducheny. He's at the 40. He's at the 45. He's up to the 50. He's stopped at the 50 by Coleman Lane. Let's go to the sidelines now and Bill Etherton.
Denny Allen has been replaced by Coley O'Brien. Denny Allen, who scored early in the ball game and who's been just tremendous this afternoon. A great halfback for Notre Dame is being attended to on the sidelines. He has a banged right shoulder.
All right, Seymour flanked out wide to the right. The ball is on the 50-yard line. 1st down, Notre Dame. The pitch is back again to Ducheny. He's at the 45 and runs hard to the 42, getting 8 yards on the play. On the 42. So mark that ball now on the 42-yard line of Iowa. And Ducheny, in 8 carries today, has gained 54 yards. Here's the slot T formation. Hanratty calling the signals. Hanratty gives to Ducheny again. Ducheny's to the 41-yard line, and Bevel makes the tackle there for Iowa. Right on the 41-yard line, so it'll be 3rd down and 1 yard to go. 8 minutes, 20 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. Here's the I formation now. Coley O'Brien is in there at the slot, and the give is to Gladjo, and he did not make it. He got down to about the 41-yard line, and that was it. The right side of the Iowa defensive line came pouring in there with Bevel again, who's doing a great job defensively, and they stop it on the 41. So what'll they do here, Al?
7:35 on the clock, and it is still ticking away. We'll find out in a moment, because here come the Irish up to the line of scrimmage, led by their big center, Tim Monty.
The I formation with the slot, and the give now is to Allen, and he's got a 1st down. He got some blocking in the middle, moved it down to the 37-yard line, and that's 20 first downs for Notre Dame today. Ball almost midway between the sideline stripes on the Iowa 37. Jim Seymour's outflanked to the right. Allen split to the left. The setbacks are Ducheny and Gladjo. Hanratty is the quarterback. Weingarten, the tight end. The give is to Ducheny. He breaks a tackle. He's at the 35. He's down to the 31-yard line and brought down on the 31 as he broke a tackle. McDonald made the tackle there for the Hawkeyes.
And he's playing a tremendous ball game. He just missed making a great tackle there again. He's been repeatedly jamming the defense. He's backing up Dan McDonald, but he's in there playing now and doing a great job.
2nd down and 3. Ducheny through the middle. Look at this. He's all the way down to the 21-yard line on just power running straight ahead. 1st down for Notre Dame, and the Irish are moving again with the ball after giving up a touchdown to Iowa in the early stages of this 3rd quarter. Ducheny, in 11 carries, has gained 71 yards. Now Seymour out wide to the right. And they're using Seymour more or less of his decoy here in this 2nd half. They haven't thrown to him. Ducheny on the trap up the middle. He's down to the 12-yard line with it on a beautiful trap play. They open the hole right up the middle to the 12. And so the ball resting on the 12, it'll be 2nd down about a yard. They mark the ball on the 12-yard line where it'll be 2nd down and 1. Notre Dame coming out of it. They line up in the I formation. Ducheny is right behind the quarterback. Top of the I is Gladjo, and he's got the ball at the 10, the 5. He's down to the 4, to the 3, stopped on the 3-yard line. 1st down and goal to go now for Notre Dame. They have the ball on the 3-yard line of the Iowa Hawkeyes. Just power football right down the middle with Ducheny, Gladjo, and Allen moving with the football for the Fighting Irish. 5 minutes and 20 seconds of playing time remaining. 231 yards. Hanratty on the call. Hanratty on the give this time to Gladjo. He stopped at the 4-yard line. He stopped right at the 4 that time, and he lost a couple of yards.
Just eating up yardage, going right up the middle. And suddenly Bevel comes up with a stop, throwing the runner back to the 4-yard line, and that's where we've got a 2nd down goal to go situation.
Signals are being called by Hanratty. Gives it off this time to Allen. Allen's down to the 1. Still fighting, and is finally thrown out of bounds by Charlie Bolden on about the 1. Final score in the World Series, the St. Louis Cardinals 7, the Detroit Tigers 3. So the Redbirds take the lead now, 2-1 in the series. Tomorrow it'll be Bob Gibson against Denny McLean. The ball is marked on the 1.5-yard line with 3rd down coming up for Notre Dame. Let's call it the 2-yard line, keep it even. Here's the give now to Allen. Allen scores for Notre Dame, cracking over left guard. And the Irish have come back to score. Notre Dame gave up a touchdown to Iowa in the 3rd quarter. They come right back and get it back again. They moved 79 yards in 15 plays, and Notre Dame leading Iowa 37-21. Scott Hempel is in there to attempt. Next week, Notre Dame will battle Northwestern. Holding the ball will be Terry Hanratty. It's 37-21 right now. He'll attempt to make it 38. Ball is spotted. The kick is up, and the kick is no good. It's off to the right. So the score is Notre Dame 37, Iowa 21.
This Hawkeye Ball Club is giving the Irish a good football game this afternoon.
Kuchenberg and Olsen tackle for Notre Dame. The 1st and 10 Iowa. The ball is on their own 31.
Powell taking the kickoff from Lambert, running it back to the 30-yard line, where it'll be 1st down and 10 to go for the Hawkeyes from their own 30. Al Bream is split out wide to the right. the pro set now with one setback, and back goes the quarterback, Larry Lawrence. He throws one, the home run ball deep to Green. It's over his head and out of bounds on the 40. He got behind the defensive halfback over there of Notre Dame, Gasser, but it was thrown over the head. From this standpoint, when they score a touchdown, they're not taking the full timeouts today. They're just continuing play. Here's the T formation again. Throw set with Lawrence calling the signals. He's the sophomore, and back he goes to throw. Looks downfield, cocks his arm and throws it. Incomplete on the 40-yard line, intended for Dennis Green.
Incomplete.
Broken up down there, and the ball will be marked on the 30 again. Let's go to the sidelines and Bill Etherton.
Right down here, Van, some raincoats are coming in evidence because the skies are spitting just a shade, and it's looking more and more overcast upstairs all the time. Weather, of course, and water would slow down everybody out here this afternoon, Van.
I don't think you've got your raincoat either, have you?
You are so right.
Back goes Lawrence again to throw. Cocks his arm, throws. It's completed to Bream at the 42-yard line, and he's dropped on the 43. Olson in on the tackle for Notre Dame. So it'll be a first down now for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Gasser also in on that tackle. And so it will be now first down for the Hawkeyes on their own 43-yard line. The 6'3" split out to the right again. Signals are being called again by Larry Lawrence. Lawrence rolling out to the left, looking for a pass receiver, throws one over the middle. It is intercepted now by Schlock at the 45. He comes back to the 50, and Notre Dame has the football right back again on Charlie Schlock's interception. The youngster from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 5'11", 180 pounds. And an Iowa man was injured on the play. The trainer comes out. So there's a timeout on the field with the score. Notre Dame 37, Iowa 21.
In the 8th series, they've scored 5 touchdowns, 1 field goal, punted once, and had 1 pass intercepted.
All right, now Notre Dame's ball. And they have it on the 50-yard line with first down and 10 to go. And here goes Hanratty back to throw. He throws one out in the left flat. It's completed over there to Gladjoe at the 50. He's back to the 45, and he's dropped on the 44-yard line of the Iowa Hawkeyes. In there making the tackle was Churchill, a sophomore from Greencastle, Indiana. This has been an exciting football game here at the Iowa Stadium today. Jim Seymour, who's been used as a decoy, they have not thrown to him in the second half, is split wide to the right. It's a straight T formation. And here's the give now to Gladjoe, cracking over the right side. Gladjoe down to about the 43-yard line, and he's brought down right there by Stepanek, who's playing the defensive left tackle for Iowa. The ball is on the 43-yard line. It'll be third down and 3 yards to go. It's the T formation again with the balanced line and the 4-3 defense utilized by Iowa. And the give is to Gladjoe. Gladjoe dives into the 40. He may have a first down. He's going to be mighty close. He was tripped up in there defensively by the Iowa Hawkeyes on about the 42, but he fell forward to the 40. And we might have to get the... No, he says it's just inches to go. So that's the situation. A fourth down again, Al, and that's just about the same spot they gambled a while ago. Hanratty on the sneak. He's got it with room to spare. He's down to the 37-yard line. On the quarterback sneak, he set Seymour and Gladjoe out wide to the right that time. And a first down for Notre Dame, and that's a total of 23 first downs. Right. It's the slot T formation now. O'Brien's in the slot. Hanratty is going back to throw. Gets great protection. He throws one to O'Brien at the 30, the 25, the 20, the 15, the 10. He's down to the 8-yard line before he's brought down. Coley O'Brien, who just went in there.
Van, that's a great running play. It's a great fake and pass play. They run O'Brien from the running back, and they run him out wide to the far sidelines and down the sidelines. Now, every indication is made that this play is going to go to the right side. Then, of course, just wheeling around there and putting it in the air, Hanratty's got his man down the far sidelines. It's good for 29 yards.
And the first down on the 8-yard line of Iowa. Now they're sending Allen in the slot to the right in the I formation, and the give is to Gladjoe, and he's down to the 5-yard line with it. Let's go to Bill Etherton on the sidelines.
And I was going to point out that the week before Purdue, Coley had practiced in that same position and that same play all week long, but he suffered a pulled groin muscle Friday in a light non-contact workout. Didn't see action against the Boilermakers, but you saw there what he can do, Van.
It's the I formation. Ducheny is right behind the quarterback Hanratty. The top of the I is Gladjoe, and the pitch is to Gladjoe. He's got blockers. He cuts back. He's down to the 3, and he's dropped on the 3-yard line. Stop right on the 3. In there to make the tackle was Charlie Bolden along with Cavol.
Gladjoe has carried the ball 18 times today for 49 yards. So he's been quite effective.
This series started in 1921. The Irish lead with 12. They've lost 8 and tied 3. The ball is on the 3 with the third down, and the give is to Gladjo, and he stopped on the 2. Phillips put a shoulder into him and shoved him back along with Charlie Borden. He was stopped right on the 3. And that's the end of the third quarter with the score. Notre Dame 37, Iowa 21. It's the I formation. The top of the I this time is Allen. And here's Hanratty rolling out to the right. He's going to run with the ball. He cuts in at the goal line, and I don't know whether he got over or not. We're going to have to wait and see. They'll have to unpile him. He did not score. He did not score. Iowa holds. And listen to this crowd at Iowa City. Bevel is the man who made the key play, stopping Hanratty. Iowa with the ball on the 1, their own 1-yard line. Here's Lawrence on to give to Green. He brings it out to the 7. He got 6 yards on the play.
The ball carrier to the 6-yard line.
The 6-yard line, possibly the 7. We'll wait till they unpile. We got 14 and a half minutes to play in this ball game at Iowa City. Notre Dame 37, Iowa 21. Here's the T formation now with 2 flankers. And Lawrence on to give to Green again on the counter. And Green comes up to about the 7, and that's it. On the 7-yard line, running over his own right tackle. Trying the left side of that Notre Dame line. And Tim Kelly in there, the linebacker on the left side, to make the stop for Notre Dame. Wide to the left goes Bream, who's nearing a pass reception record here at Iowa. Lawrence on the keeper, hits to the 9. And he's stopped there by Bob Olson. He is shy of a first down. It'll be 4th down coming up for the Hawkeyes. So that will get the kicker Reardon in here now. Terry Reardon is a 19-year-old sophomore from Kansas City, Missouri. Back comes Gladjo. Joe Theismann coming back with him, and Theismann will be the deep man for Notre Dame. In the end zone is Reardon, a perfect pass from center. He gets his kick away and booms it out of there. Gladjo takes it on the 36. He's tackled as he reaches the 35-yard line. Bill Bevel, who's playing a tremendous game for the Iowa Hawkeyes, made the tackle. That was a 27-yard kick, and the officials ruled that his knee hit the ground on the 36-yard line. So make it 1st and 10 now on the 36-yard line of Hawkeyes. And Notre Dame with the ball in great field position again on the 36 of Iowa. 13 minutes to play in the ball game at Iowa City. Coley O'Brien is split out wide to the left. Seymour's flanked to the right. And the give this time is to the halfback, cracking over the right guard to about the 35, Gladjo. And he stopped on the 34-yard line.
It is raining harder and harder now. We may finish this game in a downpour. Back to you, Van.
All right, and the ball on the 34-yard line. Seymour flanked out wide to the right. They've got that slot T formation again. And here is the give to Ducheny, the fullback, and he's down to the 31-yard line and stopped on the 31. So that'll make it 3rd down and 5. Dan McDonald is the man who made the stop.
And they keep this Iowa pass defense alert to the fact that they've got a cocked pistol almost at their head at all times. I think we'll see Seymour with a little more action here in the next few minutes.
Seymour's flanked out to the left along with Coley O'Brien. Hanratty on to give to Ducheny, stopped on the 31-yard line. Barnard is the man who made the tackle there for Iowa. Notre Dame's total offense, 439 yards. They have 235 passing and 204 rushing. The ball is on the 31-yard line. It'll be 4th down and 5 to go. 4th and 5, and Notre Dame lines up now with Seymour out to the left, O'Brien outside him. And here's Hanratty going back to throw. He's looking, being rushed out there. Still being rushed. He's all the way back to the 50. He throws. It is caught on the 24-yard line by Bob Gladjo. He's caught on the 24-yard line, and he might have a first down. He does. Hanratty was a cool customer on that one. He retreated all the way back to the 50-yard line, and then Gladjo, on a comeback pattern, got open along the sideline, grabbed it on the 24, and got the first down. 1st and 10 for Notre Dame on the Iowa 24-yard line. Notre Dame out of the huddle. Seymour split out the left. Hanratty is 15 out of 23 for 242 yards. Calling the signals now as Hanratty gives to Ducheny, the fullback. He's to the 22, and that's it. They bump him down right there. In there, the tackles, Stepanek along with McDowell making the stop, and now checking in for the Iowa team. Number 85 is Price going back in there at the defensive end. Here's the I formation for Notre Dame. They have second down and 8 yards to go. With Terry Hanratty taking the ball, rolling out to the left. He's going to run with the ball. He turns the corner at the 20. He's down to the 15. Hanratty stays on his feet. He's down to the 11. Brought down on the 11-yard line by Allison. It's another first down for Notre Dame. And there was no question, Al, what he was going to do with that ball. He just tucked it under his arm and started to run.
Larry DiNardo, a sophomore, at one guard as a starter. He's a 243-pounder from Queens, New York. At the other one right now, in place of the starter, Tom McKinley, Ed Tuck from Harrison, New Jersey, is playing the guard position, and Tim Monty, the center. Real fine interior offensive line.
Here's the give to O'Brien at the 5, the 4, the 3, the 2, touchdown, Notre Dame. On a quick opener, he handed the ball off to O'Brien, and the Irish went 36 yards in 7 plays, and it's 43-21 Notre Dame right now. Coley O'Brien was not touched. He had nobody near him as he went over. So now we'll have the try for point. Ball is marked. And holding will be Hanratty. Scott Hempel boots it. The kick is up, and the kick is good. The score now is Notre Dame 44, Iowa 21. We'll be back with the Notre Dame kickoff in just a moment. Lambert will kick off. Green and Powell are deep for Iowa and the kick. And going back for it is Green, and it bounces into the end zone. So it'll be brought back out to the 20. First down and 10 to go. It's raining in Iowa City. And Notre Dame, with 9 minutes and 59 seconds of playing time remaining, out in front, 23 points. Here's Lawrence on a give to Green, the quick opener. He's at the 30. He's at the 36 and tackled on the 36-yard line. First and 10 for Iowa. On a fine run there. Bill Powell replaces Denny Green at left halfback for Iowa. Now Bream is split out to the left. This is B-R-E-A-M, Bream. Lawrence, the sophomore quarterback, on a give this time to his halfback coming across, Powell, and he stopped right at the line of scrimmage by Joe Freeberry, the linebacker, on the inside. So mark it right on the 36, no gain on the play. Make it second down and 10 to go. Nice to have you with us today across the nation and around the world as we broadcast Notre Dame football every Saturday over these stations. The largest network ever put together on a regular college football broadcast schedule. Here's Lawrence back to throw, and he throws to Bream, and it is incomplete on the 40-yard line. He went for the long one that time, and incomplete. Schumacher again back there. Schumacher almost had that one. So they go back to the 36-yard line, where it will be a third down and 10 to go now. Wide to the right comes Powell. Lawrence, quarterback, is going back to throw. He's looking downfield. He fires. This one is incomplete. Intended for Bream again. An incomplete pass. So that'll bring up the fourth down and 10 situation now for the Hawkeyes. And we'll bring in the kicker, Reardon. Kerry Reardon comes in. Theismann comes in along with Gladjo. Back in kick formation is Reardon. Perfect pass from center. Gets his kick away. A spiral. Fair catch is called for on the 27-yard line by Theismann. There's a timeout on the field with the score, Notre Dame 44, Iowa 21. Theismann in there at quarterback now, and a lateral to Cornetti. Cornetti on the sweep to the right. He's at the 35 and is stopped on the 35-yard line. So a gain on the play of just about 8 yards. It'll be second down, about 2 to go for Notre Dame. With Joe Theismann in there at quarterback. 6-footer, 170 pounds. One flanker out to the left is Seymour. The give is to the fullback to the 39-yard line. It'll be a first down for Notre Dame on the 39.
Chuck Landolfi was returned to action after an injury to his shoulder, and young Joe Theismann is directing the attack. He apparently is next year going to be the heir to Terry Hanratty's job. Ben?
All right, Cornetti is flanked out wide to the left. Theismann, Ziegler in that backfield, and here's Theismann going back to throw, looking downfield and throws one incomplete. Knocked right out of the hands of the intended receiver over there, Tom Eaton. Knocked right out of his hands by the defensive halfback of the University of Iowa, number 20, Ray Cavol. Number 89, Tom Eaton from Lancaster, Ohio, is flanked out wide to the right. Cornetti is split to the left. Theismann with one setback. And he barks the signal. It gives on the draw play now. And running with the football up the middle is Ed Ziegler. And Ziegler's to about the 42-yard line, and that's it. Linebacker of Iowa in there, Barnhart along with Allison. They make the stop on the 42. Hayes is coming in defensively now for Iowa. With a third down situation, they're getting one of those linemen out of there and getting an extra defensive back end. That's the defensive alignment. And Dolphy is in there. Here's Theismann running with the ball. He cuts back at the 43 and is going to be dropped on the 45-yard line by Stepanek, along with Dan McDonald. The rain continues at Iowa City with the ball on the 45-yard line. And back in kick formation goes Notre Dame. The Ariadne is back in kick formation. Left-footed kicker. It was a low pass from center, but he got it away. The fair catch is called for on the 21-yard line. He was bumped down there by a Notre Dame man, but the whistle had blown.
And it wasn't really intentional. He was blocked in. Eaton on the punt team for Notre Dame was down and fell into the man who had held up his hand to get the fair catch. Next week at South Bend, Indiana, the Irish and Northwestern.
Iowa's ball on the 20-yard line with the first down, and here's Lawrence going back to throw. He throws over the middle. It is incomplete. Broken up by Olson and intended out there for Denny Green, number 44, and broken up by Bob Olson, the co-captain and middle backer. The rain continues. The umbrellas and gaily colored umbrellas are out. 44-21. 6 minutes, 27 seconds to go in the ball game.
Princeton 44, Columbia 16.
Now Lawrence with Bream flanked out wide to the right. Lawrence rolling out to the left, looking for a receiver. He's rushed. He's brought down back on the 14-yard line. He just couldn't get rid of that one. In there making the tackle was Kuchenberg. Let's go to the sidelines and Bill Etherton.
A cut above his right eye, but he apparently is all right. He's being attended to right now. Back to you, Ben.
Third down coming up. Ball back on the 14-yard line. The series originating on the 20. So it'll be third down and 16 to go for the Hawkeyes.
Third down and almost 20 to go.
And Lawrence on the draw play this time to his halfback, who's back up to the 19-yard line. Bill Powell of Gaffney, South Carolina, a sophomore, running with the ball, dropped on the 19. Fourth down, 11 yards to go now for the Hawkeyes. Theismann goes back in the safety spot along with Coley O'Brien. And Reardon is in to do the kicking. He's kicking against the wind. Perfect pass from center. Gets his kick away, and it's a good one coming upfield. Theismann goes back for it to the 36. Comes back to the 40. Finds a block to the 45. Comes up to the 49 and is dropped on the Notre Dame 49. That was a 45-yard kick. And there's a timeout on the field with the score. Notre Dame 44, Iowa 21.
Iowa Stadium, built in October of 1929 at the cost of $500,000. It's interesting to note that the press box that we're broadcasting from right now was added 10 years ago at an additional cost of $490,000. Seating capacity with the end zones just over 60,000. In 39 years at the stadium, the Hawkeyes have won 95, lost 69, and tied 11.
Theismann has just thrown out in the left flat, incomplete out there to Tom Eaton. Eaton, a sophomore from Lancaster, Ohio, so the ball goes back to the 49-yard line. Notre Dame territory, where it'll be. Second down and 10 to go for the Irish. Out of it they come with Crenity and Eaton flanked out to the left. The I formation. Landolfi is in there, and he's in the top of the I. And Theismann going back to throw. Looks, throws over the middle. It's completed Eaton at the 40. Eaton is to the 37-yard line and dropped right there. It'll be a first down for Notre Dame. And the tackle was made by Iowa's number 35, Churchill, the defensive back. Ray Churchill from Greencastle, Indiana. The ball on the 37-yard line of the Iowa Hawkeyes. Landolfi's flanked out to the right along with Tom Eaton. Crenity is in the top of the I formation now with Ziegler, the back right behind the quarterback, Theismann. And Theismann on a give to Crenity. He's across the 35. He's down to the 34-yard line. He got 3 on the play, and it'll be second down and 7 yards to go now for the Irish of Notre Dame. 4.5 minutes of playing time remaining in the final quarter. In the rain at Iowa City. Notre Dame leading 44-21. Out of the huddle now, the Irish. And they send Landolfi wide to the right. Inside him is Eaton. The I formation again. Top of the I is Crinity. Heisman, the quarterback, calling the signals. And he rolls out to the right. He's going to run with the football. He's at the 35. He's at the 30. Gets a block and out of bounds on the 26 or 7-yard line. Tom Eaton is the man who delivered the block over there on that swing around right in. And so it will be a first down for Notre Dame on the 27-yard line, and Belden goes in at quarterback, and he's the third quarterback, Al Wester.
Well, I'm a little surprised to see Landolfi used out there wide on the wide stuff. This fella can run up the middle with anybody. I mean, he is a good one.
And here is the give to Landolfi. Goes outside left tackle, breaks a tackle. He's down to the 20. He's down to the 19-yard line. This is what you were talking about?
Just exactly that. I might add, he's run 11 times. He's run 11 times before this game for 69 yards and 1 touchdown, and that's better than 6 yards a carry, Van. He's the heavyweight boxing champion of Notre Dame.
Second down and just about 2 yards to go, and here is the quarterback sneak. Theismann is down to the 15-yard line. He's got the first down. Allison made the tackle.
To the 15-yard line.
Or Beldman it is, Belden on the carry. I just put him in there and then had him with the football. Huh? First down for Notre Dame on the 15. Here's the T formation again with the 2 flankers. And to give to the halfback down to about the 11-yard line. Belden on the handoff to Crinity. And Crinity is down to about the 11. So make it now just about 6 yards to go. Notre Dame has over 500 yards total today. They have 254 yards passing, 271 yards rushing, 2nd and 6. And the give is to Ziegler, and Ziegler's down to about the 7 or 8-yard line when they unpile. And there's Allison again, along with Herman, the linebacker, to make the stop. And they're going to place that ball on the 7-yard line. This series originating on the 15. It'll be 3rd down and 2 yards to go for Notre Dame. Eaton is flanked out to the right. Ziegler, Landolfi, and Crinity are the backs. The quarterback is Belden. And he's calling the signals right now. And Belden on a give to Crinity. He's down to the 5, fights his way down to the 3, and is dropped on the 3, and it's a first down now for Notre Dame on the 3-yard line of Iowa. We've got 2 minutes of playing time remaining.
They've got Terry Brennan along with him. They've got Ed Tuck. They've got Chuck Kennedy in there. And they've got Kennedy playing a guard while Coons is, at the moment, working the tackle spot.
Here's a pitch to Crinity. He cuts in at the 1. Touchdown, Notre Dame. Crinity, Frank Crinity. 51 yards in 11 plays. With 1 minute, 48 seconds to go. Notre Dame has put 6 more on the board. It is now 50-21. Scott Hempel is in to try for the point. The quarterback will hold. Iowa scored first in this ball game. They led 7-0. Notre Dame tied it up. Iowa took the lead 14-7, but then Notre Dame came back. Here's the boot. The kick is up. It's good. And the score now is Notre Dame 51, Iowa 21. We'll be back with the Notre Dame kickoff in just a moment. 64 rushing and 26 passing. That's a lot of plays. 90. Here's Lambert moving forward and the boot. Good end-over-end kick. All the way down to the 1. It's taken by Powell to the 5. He goes to the 10, 15, to the 20. He's at the 25. He's at the 30, 35, the 40, the 45. He's at the 50. He cuts back. He's at the 40-yard line. Still on his feet at the 38. And finally tackled on the 36-yard line. Making the tackle for Notre Dame was Lavin all the way down on the 36-yard line. A brilliant run of 63 yards by Bill Powell of Gaffney, South Carolina, sophomore. First down and 10 to go now. Iowa's ball, 1st and 10. Out of the huddle they come. Reardon is flanked out to the right. Lawrence has gone all the way at the quarterback. And he's going back to throw. He looks, he throws deep, and it's incomplete. Incomplete. Hamilton incomplete. Now we've got Seelig in there at the quarterback. He's a 6'1", 199-pound junior from Iowa City, replacing Larry Lawrence, who'd gone all the way, the sophomore. And he's going to be quite a quarterback one of these days. Iowa 216 yards passing, 61 yards rushing. Seelig is going back to throw. He looks, he throws the home run ball. This should be 6. It is. Touchdown. Reardon caught it for a touchdown for Iowa. He got behind everybody and stepped into the end zone. It's 51-27 now, Notre Dame over Iowa. And now Melendez is in to try for the point. Seelig will hold. There's the snap back. The kick is up. The kick is good. And the score now is Notre Dame 51, Iowa 28.
I'm wondering how much longer this game is going to go.
Indiana 14, Illinois 14.
Illinois and Indiana are tied 14-14. The onside kick, but Notre Dame comes up with the football on the 38-yard line. It was covered there by the Irish. That was Eaton who covered it. Belden is the quarterback, and he gives it off this time to Ziegler. Ziegler straight ahead across the 40, up to about the 44-yard line, brought down there after getting 6 yards.
Ball carrier is Ziegler.
It'll be 2nd down and 4 to go. 1 minute and 10 seconds of playing time remaining in the ball game. Notre Dame leading 51-28. Eaton is flanked out wide to the left again. Landolfi's a setback with Ziegler. Graniti is in the slot. The give is to Ziegler. He's across the 45 to about the 47, and Greg Allison makes the tackle there for Iowa on the 47. This series of downs originating on the 38-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and just about a yard to go now for the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Eaton is flanked out to the right. They're in the I formation now. The top of the I is Chuck Landolfi. And Belden is the quarterback, and he gives it to Landolfi. He's at the 50, he's to the 47, and he's got the 1st down for Notre Dame, and 24 seconds of playing time remaining. 1st and 10, with the ball on the 47-yard line now of the Iowa Hawkeyes. Landolfi is split out to the right this time in the I formation, with Eaton flanked to the left. Top of the I is Graniti, with Ziegler right behind the quarterback, Belden. And Belden giving it off this time to Graniti. He's at the 40, he's down to the 35, cuts away to the 34. It's another 1st down for Notre Dame, and Cabole is the man who made the tackle for the Iowa Hawkeyes on the 34. And Notre Dame calls a timeout. So there's a timeout with a score. Notre Dame 51, Iowa 28. This could be the last play of the ball game, the I formation. And here's Belden with it, giving it off to Graniti. He's at the 15, and he is finally brought down on the 15-yard line. He found a great hole in there and moved it down to the 15. The gun goes off. The ball game is over, and Notre Dame back on the winning trail again. Notre Dame 51, Iowa 28, the final score. In just a moment, we'll present the wrap-up of today's game.